Well, hello there, all you absolutely magnificent people, and welcome back to another live stream of An Ecologist Plays. We talk about nature while playing games. We are carrying on with our city builder, or city building through the ages in an ecologically orientated manner, and we are carrying on with Dawn of Man over here. And apparently some of my people are very, very thirsty. They have been working very, very hard. In the meantime, since last time's stream, we've had a few deaths here and there. One person, well, two people died of old age, but yeah, everything else going quite according to plan. Our settlement here has expanded a bit. We've done quite a bit of hunting. As you can see, our food is actually quite good for a change compared to the previous two times, and the winter is basically at an end. And when spring rolls around, well. Ah, there we go. We've reached a 30 population. That is marvelous. And when spring rolls around, we are going to, of course, start domesticating some crops. That is going to also then help us with food, because we are going to be able to cultivate our own crops. As you can see, it is surprisingly cold on this side of the world. We are in, well, winter at least is in full swing over here. I've got my scarf, I've got my gloves. If I didn't have the earphones on, I would have had a beanie on as well. So I am dressed for winter. Hope you all are keeping warm and enjoying, well, if you are in the northern hemisphere, I hope you are enjoying summer, because we are all longing for summer on this side of the world. But I hope you all are having a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Let's see, I see Johan, you are here, so welcome Johan, welcome Fireduck, welcome everyone, welcome to the stream, glad you are all with us. Let's see, so Johan, you're saying you've had some nasty storm warnings. Hopefully we'll have connection the entire stream, hope so too, eh? And then Fireduck, you also say storming there, and you also hope you don't lose power, goodness me. So even though we are in winter over here, at least we don't have storms at the moment. Let's see, what are you doing? There we go, you're bringing to come and build this sledge. As you can see, I have been grinding a bit to get more knowledge points, and I have 24, that is marvelous. So in order to do that, I have built a few things. We've got 2 transport posts, we've got a 5th sledge being built, we've got three mortars that have been built, a whole bunch of stuff. I've done some hunting as well off screen, and a whole bunch of stuff crafted. So the idea was to get as many points as possible, so that we don't have to spend a lot of today's stream trying to get enough points to do stuff. Let's see. See also Johan's saying, see they are also in survival situation. Yeah, also, always in a survival situation. Let's see, in terms of knowledge, we may as well start spending for serial domestication, because this is going to allow us to, after that, get pulse domestication, which will give us the ability to get veg and chickpeas and lentils and peas, and domesticate those things. But in the meantime, or before we do that, we also will have the ability to domesticate barley, einkorn, and emmer. Einkorn is German, it means one kernel. Ein, one, korn is kernel, or in Afrikaans we call it koring. Well, koring in Afrikaans would also be wheat. But yeah, so the einkorn is a little bit different from modern day wheat, because I'm not sure. I think we've got einkorn over here somewhere. It's a little bit hidden. That's emmer. Emmer is also an ancient grain. I honestly don't know where the einkorn was. But anyway, einkorn is on that little stalk there, which has all the flowers initially, and then there's the grains, the seeds there. Each of those little flowers, individual flowers, with einkorn has one seed in it. With modern day wheat, usually 2 or 3 kernels or seeds per little clump there on the stalk. Okay, so that's a little bit of a difference between modern day wheat and einkorn. And emmer, I think, also had a single corn or kernel per spikelet, as it is called. A spikelet is that little individual flower that is part of the inflorescence of the wheat. There we go. Sorry, I definitely need more coffee here. See, Firedaki also mentioning that I thought you said pinecone for a moment. Not yet. I think we are going to get to pine cones later on. But not yet, not yet. Alright. Oh, einkorn sounds like pine cone. There we go, okay. I was wondering what sounds like pine cone, but yeah. Einkorn. So that'll be the one thing we will be able to domesticate. But I think since we are heading into spring, let's actually get the Neolithic era started. There we go. Marvelous. So now we are officially, we have survived the winter, we have serial domestication unlocked, and we now have the Neolithic unlocked. So we are now in the late Stone Age. And this gives us farming. So this will be an ability, or gives us the opportunity to automate production of food, sustain more people in your settlement. You can plant a variety of crops and harvest and process them to feed your people. Crops are usually planted in winter or spring, and can be collected in summer or autumn. So usually when we are cultivating plants, we mostly go for annual plants, plants that live for a season and then die. And at the end of that season, they produce flowers and lots of seeds, and that, of course, is usually what we are then after. But not necessarily always, because if you look at things like cauliflower and stuff like that, you're eating the flowers or the inflorescences, or in cabbage, you are eating the leaves. But if you're looking at grains, you are eating the end of the life cycle, you are eating the seeds there. Okay, technically, what the plants need to actually reproduce, but we now go, yeah, we're going to eat that. All right. And so usually they grow during the warmest summers, at least spring and summer, ending up in autumn when they flower and set seeds. Important to plant a variety of crops, as diseases can easily wipe out all the individuals of a single species. So that is what we are going to do. I've actually never had a look at farming in Dawn of Man, so this will be interesting, to say the least. Also, make sure that we've got enough sickles around. Okay, so I think we've got enough sickles. Of all the crop, cereals are probably the most important. They are not only a source of grain, but also straw, which we are going to need to build huts, which are a vital resource both as a building material and also as an animal food. Okay, great stuff. So I think, yeah, we are paused. Now, let's have a look here. We've got emmer over there. We've got lentils there. I don't think, no, we can't domesticate that yet. Okay, yeah, so we can only harvest the einkorn in fall, so we can't harvest that now, which is fine by me. More einkorn there, there's blueberry there. Oh wait, was this einkorn? Yeah, that's einkorn over there. Okay, so we'll have a look at that. And then emmer over here. Okay, good stuff. Okay, let's have a look here. Einkorn, okay, we can't zoom in more. But in each of those stalks, there are a whole bunch of individual little spikelets, little flowers. And we call those spikelets in the grasses. And each of those spikelets in einkorn would have a single grain. Now, the difference between the wild einkorn, also the wild emmer, which we have over here, and the cultivated versions thereof, is that there's a very big difference in what happens to the seeds. In the wild einkorn and emmer, the seeds, when they are ready, it actually falls off the stalk and it falls to the ground. And there, the idea is that they will fall off and they will be washed around, blown around, moved around. They don't stay in one spot. The problem is those are more difficult to actually then harvest. If you are a person harvesting seeds, it's more difficult to harvest because the moment you touch it, everything just falls apart. Or you get to the plant, the seeds are ripe, but the seeds are lying all over the ground, not on a single stalk. With modern day wheat and the descendants of these wild grains, the seeds actually stick together, so they don't fall apart. And it is probable that in the wild there would have been some individuals that actually had the seeds sticking to the stalk and not actually falling apart as they ripen. The problem with that, if you're a wild plant, is that your seeds, when it actually is ripe, the whole thing just breaks off. And now instead of one little seed growing in each little spot dispersed over a bigger distance or bigger area, you've got 20, 30 seeds all competing for resources at the same time in the same place. And that's not good. So you're going to have a lot of losses of your seedlings. So what is great for us as people to domesticate them is actually bad for the plants in the wild. So they would have wanted their seeds to actually fall apart. They would have been dispersed a little bit more, and they would have been growing quite nicely. But in those cases where those plants over there actually had the seeds clumping together and not falling apart when they ripen, the odds of those seeds actually surviving and reproducing again, in the wild at least, was very, very low. And then humans came around and go, we like that. We like that in it. We like the fact that it's all clumped together. We're going to take those seeds and we're going to plant those seeds. And then, because very often the grains are actually self-fertile and they also self-pollinate, you could very easily keep your little group of einkorn or emmer, which are, have their seeds clumped together rather than falling apart. You could very easily plant them away from all the other wild emmer and einkorn, and you could actually have the gene pool quite small, and most of the offspring and the descendants further along the line would have had those seeds that actually clump together rather than falling apart. And it's estimated that the cultivation of things like einkorn and emmer most likely took somewhere between 20 and 200 years. So a very short span of time for people to go, we like that, we're going to start growing it like that. Okay, so we'll get to why or how humans actually got to become a little bit more agricultural. We'll get to that in a bit. I'm just trying to figure out where there are all my hunters. Okay, you guys are going to where all the food is. Yeah, I think I still have some corpses that are over here. No, that's a cave hyena. Well, I thought I had still had some corpses. Where are you guys going? You're going to the sledge. Okay, you guys are doing your thing. Hopefully you are going to bring me some food. Where are you guys going? We get bone. Somewhere there's bone. Where? Is it here? Oh, there we go. No, that's stone. I did hunt a few things along here. Don't see... Is that bone? Yeah, that is a bone they're going to come and collect. Wow. Okay, I don't think there's much else over here. Let's see, how many hunters have we got in this area? 2 over there. So where are all my hunters at? Scattered all over the place. Okay. Do want to quickly check. Oh, we've got wolves up here. Okay, so let's hunt some wolves, I think. Okay, so I'm going to get them all to just quickly run to over here. And we've got to select some wolves. This is a whole wolf pack. And in this case, I think these wolves would most likely, one of the males and one of the females, would be breeding. So we've got an adult male here, we've got an old male, we've got an adult female, and we've got an adult male. I suspect the adult female and adult male are the ones that are actually breeding. And the old male and the other adult male over here would not be breeding. So we're going to take those 2 out. We're going to leave these 2 and the 3 pups. That's the idea. We are going to try and do that. Okay. If everyone attacks us, well, then everybody dies. But if they don't, we are just hunting some wolfies over here. Okay. Are they moving off? They're moving off. Okay, never mind. We're not hunting them. Fine. Had this whole plan and then the plan just fell apart. Okay, we've got an ancient bison over here. We're going to hunt that then. Let's see, 75% of sickles is enough, while it makes sure that some villagers do other critical tasks. Great, yeah, so we don't have everybody just doing the same thing. You guys are running. I love the fact that these guys are running like that. Raspberry we can harvest in summer, I believe. Yeah, all the fruit are being produced over spring and summer. Okay, come on. Hopefully all of you are going to come closer. Come on. Yo, you guys are taking your sweet time to get there. I guess they are tired from running all the way over here and just to run back again. And then the main problem of farming is to judge how many farm plots you need for your current population while not overworking them for the entire season by farming. Yes, that is going to be a fine balance, that's for sure. You guys come back a little bit because everybody hasn't caught up yet. Alrighty. Now, let's go hunt. There we go. Hello there, SX Gaming. Welcome, welcome. Say hello. I think it's interesting watching an ecologist play games. Well, I'm glad you are here. Hope you enjoy the stream and hope you are having a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Let's see. This bison we are hunting is an adult male. It is a solitary one, very similar to what we see in modern day buffalo as well. Oh, you are attacking us, but you are dead. Okay, great stuff. So in Africa, at least, with the African buffalo, what we very often see, and I think, guys, we are going to go hunt an ibex as well, you know, since it is here. Let's go hunt that adult male over there. We're going to leave the young male. This is the future generation. We're going to leave that one. We're going to try and take out the adult male. Okay. Oh, yes, what I was saying. Yeah, I was trying to think what I was saying. With the African buffalo, what we have is that, yes, you've got a herd of a whole bunch of cows, of buffalo cows, a whole bunch of females, and then there may be some males among them as well. But very often what you also find are what we call daga boys. Daga is an African term to describe mud or cement, and that's because those males very often lie in mud pools. They are very dangerous. You don't see them. They're very often in tall grass amongst the in the mud pools. And you walk up to them and then bam, they will charge you and you will die. Or most likely you will die. If you are trampled by a buffalo, good luck. So we call them daga boys, and those males, very often they've actually been pushed out of the herd by younger, stronger males. They kind of go lick their wounds away from everybody else, and I think that's what this bull over here was in fact doing. It's away from a breeding herd. It's currently just on its own. It is more dangerous for it to be on its own, so they are extra aggressive very often. But over time they may regain their strength again, and they may try to retake a herd or regain control of a herd. They may go back, and if they are successful, they become the breeding male again, until another young, strong male comes in and pushes them out of the herd. So there's this constant cycle of males being the breeding bull and males being pushed out and being a dagger boy, and then becoming the breeding male again and being pushed out, becoming a dagger boy. So there's this whole cycle, constant switching of roles in essence that they play. I see SX Gaming also saying, love learning about early humans. Read any of the Earth's Children books? I haven't. I have not yet. So I haven't actually heard of the Earth's Children's books yet. I'll definitely have to go have a look at that. Wait, why can't I harvest? Oh, the resource is exhausted. Okay. I was just like, why can I not harvest the tannins here? But that sounds very interesting though, SX Gaming. That sounds very, very nice. I must go and have a look then. I love this era as well. I love games also set in this era. There aren't a lot of games, at least in my opinion, not enough, that are actually set in this era, that you specialize in, or that you have to focus on more primitive tools and stuff like that. Another good example of something I also have enjoyed that is in this era is Neolithic. We'll be playing that after Dawn of Man. And then there is also things like Far Cry Primal. Also thoroughly enjoyed playing that. Haven't played that on the channel. Maybe one day I will. But that also, I mean, it's not necessarily as accurate, but it does give you a sense of how things were in that era. Really, really awesome. I feel like you should be taking notes. Yeah, well, at least there's always the chance to rewatch the videos afterwards as well. Oh, I love talking about nature. That's kind of why I started this channel. And it gives me more of a reason to play games. And, education, entertainment, that's the whole idea of this channel. And for me, some of my great loves would be nature. Obviously, my wife. My wife is number one. Then it's nature, education, and gaming. Those, not necessarily those three in those order, but wife comes first and then everything else. But yeah, love talking about nature. I would have loved to see these massive bison. I mean, look at that. Bigger horns than the modern-day American bison has. Bison. This is Bison antiquus. Oh, really cool. So, yeah, before we talk a little bit more about bison and stuff like that, with us now being able to actually cultivate, or soon able to cultivate einkorn and stuff like that. Oh, and I should probably just quickly pause. Oh, there we go, plant. Oh, we can plant. Oh, yes. Okay, I don't think we've got any grains stored. I think we've got no grains, no flour, nothing like that. Okay. What made early humans possible? What made possible for humans to start domesticating crops? Because all around the world, from Europe, Asia, North America, South America, Africa, Australia, all continents except Antarctica, in a relatively, at more or less the same time, started cultivating crops. And different crops, of course. You had maize or corn, you had in South America, you had in the Fertile Crescent, so that's in the Near East, all the way from northern Egypt. Some scholars at least include northern Egypt in the Fertile Crescent, through modern-day Iraq, Israel, Iran, those areas there. That area is the Fertile Crescent. It's areas where you had crops that could be domesticated, enough water to actually irrigate them, and fertile soils. And it's basically the breadbasket of the world. And there they cultivated things like wheat and barley and rye. Those were cultivated there because the ancestral species, the wild species, occur there. Corn domesticated in South America, and then also spread to North America as well. If you're looking at some of the First Nations in North America, also corn was a staple food. And then in other parts of the world, in Australia for example, they used a wild grass they domesticated there, domesticated to some extent as well. And in Africa the same thing, a lot of grasses very often cultivated or domesticated first. Let's see, now that you are in the new tech area, might just check those traders. Oh, for new tech, it becomes more and more expensive in terms of tech points. That is a very, very good point. Let's see here, I don't think we've got any. We've got dry skins, outfits, pulses, wooden spears, bows. No, we've got, unfortunately, no techs here. Speaking of techs, we can also look at perhaps pulse domestication. I think, yeah, we're going to grab that. Because now that we also have pulse domestication, we should be able to, there we go, plant a whole bunch of other things. Not yet rye. Rye we only get later on after domesticating the fruit trees. I think rye was also domesticated much later The first things to be domesticated would be things like emmer, einkorn, barley as well a little bit later on, and then things like your lentils, the bitter vetch, peas, those types of things were also domesticated later on. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let's see here, pick and hold to place a field. Oh, okay. So, now the thing is, I want to be ecologically orientated. I'm not going to have a massive field just of one crop. I don't know how it works in terms of cultivating of fields, because there is this trade-off. If you have a small little patch, and that's how it works in real life. If you've got a very small patch that has a crop, and let's say you've got in a 20 square meters, you've got 20 different crops. You're cultivating 20 different crops, each 1 by 1 meter. That's a lot of effort to now go and plant those plants individually and to harvest each one when they get ready. But if you've got a big block of the same crop, it's easy to harvest everything or plant everything at the same time, water everything at the same time, harvest everything at the same time. You don't have to worry about 20 different species worth of watering requirements and nutrients or fertilizers, all those types of things. So having a bunch of different species will be more time consuming, at least in real life. To some extent. If you're looking at a food forest, however, then it becomes a little bit different because you're using other principles to do that. But if you've got a monoculture, easier to grow lots of the same thing at the same time, harvest it at the same time. The problem is, and I think, Johan, you mentioned that that is a problem for you, at least if you're growing things, or in Dawn of Man here, you can have diseases coming in, and it will wipe out all the plants of a certain species. If you just have one crop that you're planting, well, then you don't have anything to eat because your entire farm failed. But if you had all the different plants planted, then at least if one crop fails, the others will survive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have little blocks. So let's see, fields are most space effective in 5x5, but you also need to clear large areas of trees in normal gameplay. You always want to increase priority of all fields to max. Okay. So a 5x5, that's quite a big block for me. In an ecologically orientated manner, what I'm going to do, my thing is, these crops here, the grains are pollinated by wind. Okay, so if you're not looking at wanting them, if you want to have them breed with one another in that field, you would like them to be in a block. And that's the thing with corn, for example. Very often if you grow rows of corn in a garden, you don't have massive cobs forming, or the cobs don't have the kernels formed properly because they don't get pollinated effectively. If you've got a square, a nice 5x5 block, in essence, then the pollination is increased and you actually have an increased yield. So for these cereals, we may want to actually plant them in blocks. But a lot of these legumes, they actually are self-pollinated, so you don't need to plant them in blocks, at least if you're looking at it ecologically. So I'm going to do things in an ecological manner rather than going for what is best. I'm going to have a little 3x3 block of some crops. Okay, that's going to be it. That is for emmer, for einkorn. I'm going to have a 3x3 block over. No, not going to have it there. I'm going to plant bitter vetch along here. Come on. Okay, I need to do that and then plant like that. Okay. Then I'm going to see if I can have... I'm going to just have it like that. Kind of like around the trees. So this is definitely... I know it's going to be an eyesore for a lot of you guys, but... this is ecological. This is how we are doing it. We're doing a whole patchwork of stuff here. And I think lentils, we're just going to have a little field, not up there. Lentils, I think, will have kind of a little field up here. Yeah, kind of like that. There we go. So what I want to do is all of this, high priority, high priority, high priority, and high priority. There we go. Okay. So, let's see how this works, shall we? What are you guys doing? I think you are hopefully going to plant that soon enough. I don't think we've got any emmer or einkorn or anything to actually plant. But yeah, Let's see, you also mentioned the main reason for large field blocks is mainly because in-game fields will block tiles next to it, as I can see. Okay, yes. So you can have large blocks, and then you technically lose less space, rather than having a bunch of small blocks. Okay, that makes sense, makes sense. Alright, what have we got? How's our food situation? It's looking, yeah, not too good, not too good. Okay, have we got any hunting we can... Oh, what have we got? We've got hyenas. Varmek's ghost is haunting me. Because cave hyenas have been the bane of my existence. We've got adult female, adult female, adult female, old female. Oh, there are no males here. I wonder what happened to the males. Okay, bunch of young ones. So what we can do is we can try to selectively thin this herd. Or this pack, not herd, pack. Okay, let's see how many hunters. I think 4 hunters should be no. Okay, 4 hunters should be sufficient. Let's bring them across to this side. Run, little one, run into the forest. Okay, we're going hyena hunting. You can't just immediately start walking away. Okay, so we are going to take out... That's an old female. We're going to hunt 2 of the younger females, leave 1 adult female, and we're going to leave the old female, because that old female may have some memory of where to go hunting and where good denning sites are and stuff like that. So we are going to leave her. We're just going to hunt the 2 of the younger females. Alrighty. Very often what you have is that one female will actually have a whole bunch of cubs, and the other females don't actually breed in the hyena pack. Okay, very fascinating creatures. Oh, and their babies are so cute. If you're watching this after the stream, like probably in a week's time when I finish editing it and cutting it into smaller sections, I'll have a little photo of what a baby hyena looks like. Man, they are adorable. They are one of Nick's favorite little animals. She loves them. And the warthog. Warthog takes top place, and then baby hyenas shortly after that. Alrighty. We're going to hopefully just take out 2 of the females. Hopefully not everybody attacks. If everybody attacks, I'm afraid we are going to have to kill this entire pack. Okay. So who have we got left? Oh. Okay, we've got 2 younger females also attacking us. The old female, maybe she's the one that's actually bred. She may be the one that's bred, because those 4 cubs and she and the 4 cubs are running away. Okay. So what we are going to do is we are going to shoot. Okay, come on. Run away this side. Okay, and hunt this one. Okay, great stuff. 3 taken down. Now, are you guys coming back? Where's the old female? The old female is over there. Okay, she may be coming back. Okay, we're just going to have to keep an eye on her. If she attacks us, we are going to have to end this pack. Oh, now they are eating our food. Well, we can't really have that now, can we? Sorry, guys. But now you are coming to steal our food. You are being typical kleptoparasis. Are you? Are you? You may be, yeah. Sorry. I'm not sure whether you guys were attacking me or not, but... okay, I want to hunt. There we go. That one there. Okay, it was a cave hyena attack. I was like, did someone die? But no, nobody died. It was just an attack. Okay. Oh, man, shame. I don't like attacking this entire pack, but they are coming to eat our food, and this is now a survival situation, I'm afraid. Okay. Come on, hyenas. Okay, we're just scaring them away. Hopefully they now stay away. If they stay away, we won't have to hunt them. Okay, one at least has gone far off. No, they're coming back.